Alright, boys, we got ourselves a 4-link. Pretty stoked right now. I think it turned out awesome. Pretty pumped about it. All the links are 2-inch quarter wall DOM, so pretty beefy for this little crawler. All the links are only tack welded together. Still gotta weld those all the way out tomorrow probably, or maybe the next day, I don't know. The chassis side are just tack welded on there too. But everything's perfectly, I mean, I couldn't have lined up any better than that. Pretty stoked about how everything is pointed at each other nicely and went together really good. So anyways, that's it for today. I will be back out here tomorrow. I have one class to go to, and then I will be back in the garage. Probably weld the rest of the chassis tabs on or brackets on, and then probably work on the fuel cell, I'm guessing. Or maybe get to those coil springs so I can have the back on its own weight and I can put it on the ground and not worry about it falling off some jack stands. So we will see. We'll see what happens. And then I get to do this all over again in the front. Woo! Anyways, we will catch you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, welcome back to another day out in the garage. So today we are going to be hopefully setting this tracker on all its weight on the back of this thing. So front obviously still on jack stands, but the sooner we get to put this thing on its own weight and on wheels and tires, the sooner I can start tearing apart the front. So with that, I got a head start this morning. I already have welded these solid onto here on the frames. Frame side, those tabs are all welded. Same thing with the lowers on this side. And then I recycled these off of the original axle. These are just the spring bucket, I guess, or spring mount, or whatever you want to call these things. I took those off this morning and then tack welded them in place. So they're just tack welded on there. But the next thing will really be to try to figure out how to hold the top spring in. I know Jeeps and stuff, and the original mounts on here kind of had a piece of tubing that drops down about this far, and you kind of just slide the spring onto it. So we might go that route, or we might try to do something different, maybe a plate and a retaining bolt or something like that. So that's what's up next. So we'll get right on it. We'll get started. Alright, so this is what I came up with. Basically, this plate, I'm going to probably drill a hole in it and put a bolt through it so I can bolt it to the frame. I like stuff that bolts in instead of just welding all of this to the frame. I like when stuff can be bolted on. So anyways, I'll drill a hole through here. We'll stick a bolt. This will cut, we'll cut this in half. So it'll this and this. And then this will be the upper mount, something like that, but probably cut this in half and then give that a try. So, and then thread the frame, just give that a whirl and see if that lasts. It should. I don't see any problem with that. Anyways, I'll get this thing cut. Probably in half, and then get everything mocked up. So originally, I was just gonna drill and tap the frame, but the frickin' frame is basically made out of sheet metal or something. So I just saw that was kind of in line with it. It's a little not aligned, but close enough. And so I just drilled right through that tubing and put a nut on the bolt on, or a nut and washer on the other side. So I'm pretty stoked about that. We'll get it jacked back up, put that spring in place, and see how she looks. Alright, that is awesome. Pretty happy with that. That ended up working pretty dang good, so... Oh, sorry about the light. Just easy, and then it bolts in and out, so if I hate it or I keep bottoming out too hard or need to change something up or run into some money with for some coilovers or something, easily swapped out. So that's that. I'll get the other side done. Alright, that's sitting on its own weight. I am a little worried about the springs being too strong or too big. I was hoping that it would rest a little more, but I also have no fuel cell in here, no seats in the back, no bumper, no plating or anything like that, so I'm hoping when I add another 150 200 pounds of stuff or heavier that it cinches it down a little more. So if not, we'll have to either cut the coils or order some different coils, or I don't really want to cut them because that's just taken away from travel, but we'll figure out something. But for right now, pretty happy with that. So that is good enough for me. Alright guys, that is almost a wrap on the rear end. So I thought these were pretty cool. I made some spring retainers, small piece of strap. It's actually a piece of tubing cut in half and then laid it over, and you just kind of spin the spring into place and it stops there. So it has got the retainer on the bottom. Top is good. I finished welding all the links. Still missing the jam nuts for the regular thread or left-handed thread side, so I'm missing 4 jam nuts, but that's pretty much a wrap on the back. The spring retainers on there, everything's welded on the axle. So let's see what the heck it looks like on some tires. It's probably going to sit a little high in the rear right now because it doesn't have hardly any weight back there, but we'll give it a whirl and see what it looks like. Alright guys, that is it for the back. It's on its own spring weight, or on its own weight. I think I might be sitting about 2 inches taller than I want it to, but it does look pretty freaking cool. I'm excited to get the front done so I can see what I've created. So alright guys, that is probably going to be a wrap on the 4-link in the rear. Other than the shocks and a couple of jam nuts, and some actual lock nuts and nuts. Lots of nuts. Other than that, there's not too much left. So we'll have to mount some shocks later, but I think the next video we're going to be screwing around with this fuel tank, fuel cell. Either I'm going to put it through the floor, or we will try to mount it down below. The other gas tank was all rusted out. That's why I got rid of it, but it seems like there should be no interference down below it. So I might try putting it back down there, or somewhere. There'll be a fuel cell in here somewhere. But other than that, if you guys enjoying this video and like my other videos, subscribe, guys. Check it out. Stay tuned. I pretty much always have a project of some sort going on, so I promise we'll start taking them out and having some fun eventually. So yeah, that's gonna be a wrap. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Take care. Bye.